Good morning. Sunrise this morning is at 7:05 and sunset is at 8 o'clock. So there's 13 hours of daylight, give or take. So great. Enjoy your days of light or your hours of light today. Such a beautiful crispness in the air. The apples, so many apples this year. So come rest into your child's pose. Come. So resting down, either stretching your arms out long or bending your elbows. And just let yourself land and settle. And just experience this moment in your body. Really learning the skill of being present to sensations. Noticing your shoulders, your rib cage, the way your belly and your thigh meet, the way your feet are being compressed, your knees, your hips, your buttocks. And just surrender to the sensation. Don't resist gravity. Soften into it. Surrender. Notice where you're defending or reacting or protecting, and allow yourself a little bit of softness. And deepen in. Nice. And then just sway your hips from side to side a little bit so that you're just feeling into your feet, easing into your knees, your toes. Nice. And then come forward onto your hands and knees. And come into the cat pose. So I love having my toes tucked under, rounding your back, tuck your chin under and just pausing there. And arching your back, lift your chest, look forward. And just see how movement creates movement. Really slowly travel from the rounding into the arching. Let yourself be present to sensations. Let yourself feeling, deepening, softening into this moment. Nice. And then look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. Those of you who are live with me, sunrise is now, which is really so beautiful. Maybe noticing in the next few minutes how the light changes around you as you move. It's always changing. Nice. Take your right elbow and bring your fingers to the front of your right shoulder and then touch the floor where your right hand was. And then bring your right elbow back to your right knee, right elbow back to your left knee, and then bring your elbow forward to where your right hand was. Elbow to your right knee, elbow to your left knee, and forward. Right, bring your hand to the floor, change, bring your fingers to the front of the left shoulder, touch the floor where your left hand was. Elbow to your left knee, elbow to your right knee, forward, elbow to your left knee, elbow to your right knee, forward. One last time. Elbow to your left knee, elbow to your right knee, and forward. Nice. Both hands on the floor. And then just push back into your downward dog. Get delicious, get yum, get connected, have a bit of a wiggle. Or just find what you do this morning to just feel into your body. You know, the resource of this practice is the connecting, is the spaces we make in ourselves. It's the, almost I imagine that it's like looking at a river that's full of water and then suddenly seeing that there's a rock that I could stand on. So stand on the rock of your resource. Really creating space in your body in this moment. Nice. Drop both knees to the floor. Take your right foot and step it halfway between your right hand and where your right knee was. And then just rock forward and backwards. So we're just meeting the rib cage, the hip, the buttock, the knee, the foot. So we're not rocking any more forward than our shoulders over our hands. And we're diving back with our bum. But you're in the range of what feels like wellness for you. Nice. Change. Bring your left foot to the outside, halfway between your left hand and where your knee was. And then slowly, steadily just rock forward and backwards. Nice. And then come back, both knees to the floor. Super. Come sit on your bum and just stretch your legs out long and make fists out of your hands and roll into your wrists. And as you roll into your wrists, just really appreciate all that your hands do. You know, every hug you've ever given, every person you've embraced, every cake you've ever baked, roll your hands in the other direction, every word you've ever written, every weed you've picked, every apple you've eaten, you've done that with your hands. Open your fingers wide, give thanks and gratitude for these hands, and then make fists out of your hands. And again, open your fingers, give thanks and have gratitude for your hands. And squeeze your hands together. Nice. Just shake your hands out. And just feel and sense and know that they're just so connected to your heart. Our hands are the vehicle for our hearts, for good and for bad. And so just think of them as the manifestation of your heart in the world. I love that. Thanks, hands. So great. So come lie on your back. So your knees are bent and your feet are flat on the floor. Wow, the sky is so beautiful. So you're lying on your back, your knees are bent, and then just rock your knees from side to side. And as always, as we begin this movement, you'll encounter the day that you had yesterday, the sleep that you had last night, the movement you did, the movement you didn't do. It's like, I'm always amazed at what gathers in us as we live within our bodies. The nooks, the crannies, the places of possibility, the places that just go quiet when we don't meet them in certain ways. I just love it. It's so amazing. Nice. Begin to glide. So as you drop your knees over towards the right, then glide the left foot up. So your left foot is traveling up only to the distance of your wellness, and then coming all the way back. Drop your knees to the left and gliding up with your right knee. And really listen, what is your wellness? I really like at the moment, as I draw my left knee up, that I feel the front of the left shoulder lengthening. So as I drop my knees to the left and glide my right knee up, my right shoulder and rib cage are being opened. It's just a really nice, including more and more places as I move. One more time each side. Nice job. Great. Squeeze both knees up towards your chest and hug them in. As you squeeze them in deeply, as you really draw your knees down, allow your belly to soften. Really come into a place of stillness there. Squeezing your knees down, widen into the lower back. Maybe tuck your chin in a little bit, widen your shoulders, and draw your knees a little bit closer. Nice. Stretch both legs up towards the ceiling and roll out through your ankles. As you roll into your ankles, just feel the deep of your feet and then roll in the other direction. Super. Bring your heels together and your toes apart, a bit like Charlie Chaplin. It's quite agonizing to do this, so be careful. And then bring your toes together and your heels apart. Bring your heels together, your toes apart. And then your toes together and your heels apart. Nice. So bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. So my knees are wide, my knees are bent. Just rub your feet together gently, like they're trying to warm each other up or just visit each other there. Hi. Oh, I love when my toes meet. It's so cute. It's like they want to chat or something. They're like, yay. Nice. And then draw your knees apart. Draw your knees together and your feet apart. So now my feet are wide. So I'll show you this way. As I draw my thighs together, my feet are wide. My toes are flexing towards the ceiling. And then soles of the feet together, knees apart. And then knees together, feet apart. And again, feet together, knees apart, and then knees together, feet apart. Nice. And then we're going to do half of one and half of the other. So bring your knees together and your feet apart and keep the right leg where it is. And then bring your left foot so that your left toe comes to touch your right knee. So both of my feet are now pointing towards the right. And I'm in zigzag in the air, more or less. And then sweep like windscreen wipers your knees in the other direction. Now bring your right foot to touch your left knee and your left toe is pointing towards the left. So sweep, tap, sweep, tap, sweep, tap, sweep, tap. And just feel that in the knees, in the hips, in your belly, in your feet, in your abdominal muscles. One more time each side. Nice. And then just shake out your legs. As you shake your legs, just feel like your feet are able to wiggle, your calves are able to wiggle, your thighs are able to wiggle. And then lower both feet to the floor and just let them rest. Really just let a sense of dropping, of sinking, of landing into the floor with your legs. Feel the resting of your legs. There's also quite a nice tingle after shaking your legs. Nice. So lift the right foot up and turn the right foot over towards the left and place the right ankle on top of the left knee. Push your elbows down into the floor and gently rock from side to side. And so as you rock from side to side, you're not moving without listening. You're definitely moving with listening. As you travel one way, it may feel very different than when you travel the other way. For me, when I travel towards the left, I go very slowly because I can feel how connected the whole right side of my body is and how deep it goes into my hip and my leg and my sacroiliac joint, into the front of my hip. So I'm really attentive and listening to how can I allow that connection really become more and really become conscious. Because we're all connected all the time, but we just don't know it. So when we move like this, we're reminding our body of our connectivity. We're highlighting our connections. Often I tell people in my clinic that often the places that are sore in our body, they feel alone. They're not connected to everything else. And that my job often is to create a community of connection in our own body. It's very sweet. So great, come to the other side. Bend your left knee, bring your left foot to the top of your right knee, and then just rock from side to side. Again, go slowly, really allowing the communities of you, all the different parts of you, to become a bigger sense of a unity. Let your legs become connected to your torso, let your right side connect to the left, the front to the back, the arm to your leg. It's like all these amazing structures that are one. You are one. You are whole. Nice job. Nice. Come all the way back to center and just squeeze both knees up onto your chest and have your knees touching as you squeeze them in. And then release the squeeze, bring your knees wide, and then squeeze your knees towards your shoulders. Nice. Bring your knees together, squeeze your knees towards your chest, and then bring your knees wide and draw your knees towards your shoulders. Nice. One more time. Draw your knees towards your together. Pull your knees up towards your chest. And then widen your knees. Draw your knees up towards your shoulders. And then butterfly knees. So as you roll into your knees, as you just feel into the rolling. So my knees widen, my toes lower down towards the floor, my knees come up towards my shoulders, and then my knees come together. So there's this widen, and draw your knees up, come together, travel down through the midline, widen, sweeping up, come together, travel down through the midline, and then change direction. Travel up through the midline, widen, sweep your toes down, widen, draw up, widen, sweep your toes down. One more time, up through the midline, widen, and draw your toes down. Nice. Lower both feet to the floor and just let that settle. Nice. Rolling over onto your right side, come all the way up into a seated position. Legs are long in front of you. And then leaning back, lift your feet off the floor. And then stretch your left leg long. Bend your knee. And then stretch your right leg long. And bend your knee. Stretch your left leg long. Bend your knee. Stretch your right leg long. Bend your knee. Bring the soles of your feet together. Drop your feet to the floor. Holding on to your shins. Sit up really tall. Find the length in your spine. So as you push down into your sit bones, as you lift up through the top of your head, I'm pulling on my feet. And that gives me a sense of uplifting or elevation or levity, or just the sense of it connects my spine in a very tangible way, and I feel taller when I pull on my feet. Nice. Lift your hands up and then draw your right elbow back. Bring your hand behind you and hold on to the right knee with your left hand and twist towards the right. Get tall through your body, lengthening. Nice. And then looking down towards the right knee, begin to drop your forehead down in the direction of your knee. This is going to squish into your belly organs, and just hear that. Your liver will talk to you. And then sitting up tall. Come to the other side. So sweep your hands all the way around the corner, holding on to the left knee with the right hand. Left hand is behind you. Rising through the spine. Nice. And then drop your forehead down in the direction of your left knee. Just feel that now you're squishing into your stomach, the spleen, the pancreas, and rising up tall. Nice. And draw the soles of your feet to the floor and come all the way to land on the floor, just rolling all the way back. Push your elbows into the floor and just rock gently from side to side with your knees. And then roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. So as you roll in a circle, feeling into the lower back, how your knees roll, how your feet are connected, and then roll in the other direction. Rolling, connecting, feeling. Super. So you can stay lying on your back, it's Saturday, or you can roll all the way over and come into your child's pose. As always, find your version of child's pose. find your way to reach down, lengthen down. Don't know if you can see them, but my geese are outside the window there, just over there. Hey guys, good morning. So coming into your child's pose. And just let yourself rest. Let your belly drop. I like my knees wide for the second child's pose. I like really sinking and wiggling my belly down between my thighs, and allowing my knees to soften. My toes are still touching. And even imagining that my armpits can come a bit closer to the floor as I drop forward. How do you be present to this? Just feel this. Just take another moment or two more. Soften something, yield to something, engage something, connect. Nice. And then slowly coming up. Either coming into your downward dog or stretching back in whatever way you do. For me, after child's pose, it's very nice, just wiggling out my legs a little bit. And then if you're lying on your back, then bringing yourself to roll over onto your side, or you can stay there. See what you want to do. Nice, guys. Really lovely. Very, very nice. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Very beautiful. Just loving this. And I found out about people who are 2 days behind. So there's like this army of yogi ants. That's my feeling. And we're all doing our practice and learning how to have a daily practice in our lives, which is for me such a gift. So have a great day, and I will see you all again tomorrow.